Hey everybody, we are back with another update for the Nemesis. Matt has been able to get me some updates on the car and the design before he's gone down to SEMA. So we're going to take a look at some of those different updates that we have, walk through the design changes, see where we picked up from the last time, and kind of some of the cues and changes that we're looking at doing as we continue to tweak the model before getting to the point of creating any of the different body panels. So let's take a look at the different renderings and see what we have. Alright, so we're in the good old trusty software GIMP here where I'm pulling in some of the different images and we can see some of the new designs that have been pulled together. So one of the things that Matt had been doing is taking some of the different feedback that I had about making the car look a little bit more aero-like and aerodynamic. So he's added in some of the different facets and stuff down the side here to be able to give more of that aggressive look coming to the front fenders. Also cut out some of the bulkiness that we had on the rear here, and then we've been working around through some different rear treatments that we have on the car. So in general, it's starting to come down. We've chopped that roof down by about 4 inches. Should be able to take that out of the roll bar and still give enough room for an air inlet to travel over top of the seat. And then we've got kind of the continued updates on the different panels. So these are going to continue to revise as we're going through and getting the general shape and then really pulling together all the details. So in general, one of the things that we are going to be working on is this rounded feature of the front fenders just isn't rolling with the theme of the car. So we still want to have this kind of rounded fender gap, but the smoothness of these fenders just doesn't look like it belongs with the rest of the car. So we're going to try to get it a little bit more angular and faceted like the rear of the vehicle itself. So the whole goal here is being able to make this car look, like it's aggressive while it's sitting. One of the things that we're going to want to see too as well is trying to update some of these areas that will likely be filled in with body panels where we can see the chassis right now and see what does that do to the look of the vehicle. One of the nice things that we did here about taking some of the bulkiness, we're going to actually expose the coilovers on the rear. The cool part about that is it gives us this really nice, hipped look at the rear when you're looking at the car and seeing that shape. So much more F1-like of a shape to the vehicle with just the kind of almost floating wheels or floating arches there. So everything that we're trying to do is we're trying to pull together again this kind of wide front to a arrowhead design or boomerang style of design that's coming back to the rear, and then kind of more of a floating set of panels over top of the rear. Again, we're going through different revisions here, so we'll see how everything comes together. Not worried about this is showing up through the hood at the moment. All this stuff is just we're trying to get our general shapes and then tweaking based off of the clearances that we have underneath of the body. But this is all kind of coming together, starting to see a much nicer look on the car. These will end up getting filled in with our headlights at the front here, so that's why we're seeing gaps in the front. Enough room here to be able to run a plate. This will eventually open up as a hood and a place for being able to deal with electronics and or a little storage compartment at the front for your helmet or any other kind of luggage. So that's all coming along. Now, one of the places that's kind of really cool is the rear. So really kind of going with these floating tall arches on the back, and we're trying to see how's this all going to come together when it comes to taillights and where we're wanting to put those, but also mocked up in the kind of the larger diffusers in the back that kind of gives the rear a little bit more shape now. And we can see where we've got essentially the suspension bars coming up where our coilovers are popping up out of the bodywork. So I'm really kind of liking this feel on the rear of the car. We've got lots of room here above the transmission to be able to run an exhaust straight out. The roof lines that are coming back should give me lots of room in the top there to be able to run a turbo where I need to run it. Still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to run that turbo and get the plumbing up to it, but I'm going to need a little bit of height back there. So this height of these roof lines is really helping with that. Now, one of the things that I did as well, just kind of mocking up for Matt, saying, all right, we've got in here with just the bars. We're going to have to make sure that our openings cover or provide enough clearance for the coilovers that'll be coming down in blue, and then I've also got the strut bars coming up here in yellow as well. So we need to just make sure that those openings have the right amount of room there. And then eventually we'll need something that kind of ties the bottom together here, where we can run the rear license plate. And I've got a 370Z rear fog / reverse light, lower brake light assembly that's going to be there as well. And eventually likely another red strip or a third brake light down the back. But that's generally kind of what we're looking at on the rear. I'm really kind of liking how this rear is coming together. We still have a bunch of work to do to try to work through all of those different aspects, but overall the aggressive look of the car, we're getting that F1 style appearance. I think once these don't get smoothed and it looks like the rest of the angular surfaces, that's really going to come together. We're seeing that more arrowhead style design that's coming through, and we're starting to see it come to life in 3D. So overall, really excited about the progress of the car and where we're bringing it to. It's one of these processes where you have to be very patient. You got to work through those different iterations, see what works, what doesn't work. But as soon as you see it, you know it, and you like what it's looking like. So really like the direction that's coming. Matt's already been working on making some more adjustments and updates to it. So hopefully we'll have some more updates on the body design soon, but I'm still slugging away at the fabrication and getting all of the underlying bits and pieces working for making sure that we've got the mechanical bits right so that we can overlay the body on top of that and see what it's going to look like. So we'll likely create the body first out of cardboard, to be able to see what it looks like in real life when we can walk around the car, see its different dimensions. So that'll be exciting as well, but we're not quite there yet. Still need to hone down this design. So that's the latest update on the Nemesis R1. Really excited in the progress that we're making on the body and in the shop. Would love to be working on it full time, but that's just not in the cards. So thanks again for joining, and we will keep you updated whenever we have any new progress to share.